In tonight's top story, Rock the Vote was on campus earlier this week getting students registered to vote.
And Drake came to Drake.
I'll have the latest in Cyclone sports.
And it was another day of highs in the 70s out there. That's not sticking around for much longer, though. Coming up, we'll have a cool down in your forecast. Stay with us. Newswatch starts now.
This is Newswatch 18. Newswatch 18 starts now.
Good afternoon and welcome to ISUtv. I'm Eveline Meidt.
And I'm Coley Bergren. Thanks for joining us.
Club going up on a Tuesday. Drake performed this past Tuesday in Des Moines at the Wells Fargo Arena. The Wells Fargo Arena can hold up to 17,000 people. Drake had two opening acts, Roy Woods and Division. The concert started around 7 p.m. and Drake came on after 9 p.m. He claimed he was not going to go on another tour unless he would hit up Des Moines again. Later, Drake decided to hit up Drake University. On an Instagram video he posted, he said, "Kappa Kappa Gamma, I'm outside your sorority house and you're all asleep." The girls claimed that they thought it was a clown, and so no one answered. Drake, you can come to Kappa 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 Gamma anytime at ISUtv.
It doesn't matter who you are voting for as long as you do. That is the message that Rock the Vote wanted to tell to millennials. The tour bus was here earlier this week to help students register to vote. Many students believe that this is a major presidential election and that their votes will make a difference. For more information on registering, visit rockthevote.com.
Each year at ISU, there is a fall and spring blood drive. There are roughly 60 student members who meet weekly to discuss information and how each blood drive will work. Online, there is a registration form to fill out in regards to volunteering with spots such as people working check-in, canteen station, and post-donor volunteer. The blood drive is held in the Memorial Union's Great Hall. The blood drive went from this past Monday the 3rd to Thursday the 6th. Each donor helped save 3 people's lives. Overall, it was a great success.
In addition to the dozens of classes that Iowa State Recreation Services offer, they've added jazzercise to their lineup. Jazzercise is a type of fitness training that combines aerobic exercise with jazz music. Classes are open to anyone and everyone, held in State Gym on Tuesday and Wednesday evenings.
Now that it's officially fall, we aren't just seeing pretty leaves, scarves, and pumpkin spice lattes. Campuses around the U.S. are getting hit by clowns, including ISU. Although Iowa State University police claimed on Twitter no one confirmed clown sightings on campus have been reported to our department, students claim otherwise. A clown sightings Twitter account claims that there were clown sightings around Maple Hall and Lead Recreation Center. Students also claim they heard clowns with blowhorns outside of their dorms. Moving out nationally, clowns have hit schools from JMU to Syracuse to the University of Iowa. This phenomenon started in early September in North Carolina, with clowns trying to lure kids into the woods with candy, and now has spread all the way to the West Coast. People have gone as far as shutting down schools and sending out official warnings. Let's hope this spook and scare comes to an end sometime soon, especially before Halloween.
About a week ago, President Leith damaged a university plane during a private trip to his home in North Carolina with his wife. President Leith, a certified pilot, damaged a university-owned plane during a rough landing from a return trip home. The damages totaled up to $12,000, and President Leith went on record stating he would no longer fly university planes and wrote a $15,000 check to Iowa State. However, just the other day, Leith flew a university plane home where he takes famous bow hunters to raise money and family for NCAA tournament matches for basketball.
You may have seen them around campus, hanging in there. After the break, we have a story about hammocks.
Don't go anywhere, you're watching Newswatch. Welcome back. Central Campus is always full of activity, but if you're not into Frisbee, you can just hang out. Courtney Dust has more on hammocking.
Iowa State is known for its beautiful campus, especially in the fall semester. If students don't want to spend the day in the dorms, there are many outside activities they can enjoy. An activity that has gained popularity on campus is hammocking. Sophomore Skylar Staub picked up hammocking this past summer and shares her experience with this leisure activity.
Actually, I had a few friends that were older than me that were really into hammocking at their colleges, so that when they came back over the summer, I was like, hey, why not get one too? And I did, and it's just a great way to hang out outside and go do homework or just relax with friends. It's a good time.
Hammocking has a fairly simple setup. All you need is 2 trees with enough separation to fit your hammock, and then all you need to do is hop in. The process takes about 5 minutes to set up, though the rest of the time is yours to do homework or maybe even take a nap. There are many places to hammock on campus, but Skylar has her own favorite spot she goes to hang out.
Or the spot right here by the Campanile, because there's a perfect little triangle of trees, so all your friends can like talk to each other and just like relax.
Some students like to go alone for their own privacy, but then there can be other students that go in a group. Regardless, hammocking is a great way to enjoy Iowa State's campus and the nice weather.
I'm Courtney Dust with ISUtv signing off.
Hy-Vee has added clothing to their selection of products. A Hy-Vee in Des Moines has announced they're launching a clothing line for men, women, and children on October 5th. The Flora Avenue store is the first to make this change.
Once again, President Leith is in the news. President Leith recently launched a fundraiser campaign for Iowa State. This current campaign is to raise quite a massive amount of money, $1.1 billion to be exact. This campaign is historic in a sense as it is the first of its kind to be asking such a large amount of money. The fundraiser kicked off Friday, September 30th at Hilton Coliseum. The idea behind this historic campaign is that this is where family, friends, and alumni will come together to help Iowa State meet this impressive goal. John Fleming, the campaign chair, said, "I invite everyone whose lives have been touched by Iowa State to consider what it means to be forever true to this university." As a result of this campaign, more than 20,000 students have already received support, and nearly 35 new staff and faculty have opened up.
And now we have Hot Seat. In this new segment, reporter Taylor Minkle interviews the president of the Next Gen Climate here on campus.
Welcome to the Hot Seat. I'm Taylor Mankel, joined by Scott Feldman. Scott, how are you doing today?
I'm doing well. It's a pleasure to be here.
Well, I'm glad to have you here. Scott is the president of Next Gen Climate, but I'm going to give you some of the arguments that many people may say or may truly believe it or not, about some of the things about climate change and other things related to Next Gen Climate.
I'm ready for this.
So go ahead, sit back and relax and be ready for some of these questions. What do you say to people that say global climate change, global warming, it's a myth?
I would be really careful when they first say that, because a lot of people that have kind of studied the issue for a while, and people are beginning to become frustrated really fast. Just like, oh, you're a climate change denier, you're completely not in tune with reality, which I partially agree with that. But I think I would try to answer the root of the problem. Why do you believe this way? Do you just want to ignore the science, or do you have these faulty claims, or do you just want to not accept reality because you're afraid? And once you kind of answer the base of those questions, then you could go from there, give them some good information about the science, and hopefully they'll change their mind.
What if people were to say renewables are just a Band-Aid, they're not a true solution?
To say a Band-Aid, it's saying that if you start renewables, that suddenly it's not going to continue to push us in a better direction, which is completely wrong. It would be almost a permanent fix if we completely move to clean energy. And obviously the time that CO2 stays in the atmosphere is hundreds of years. So we are going to continue to experience the warming, but it's just not going to be as bad. The IPCC, the Intergovernmental Panel of Climate Change, kind of issued, how much warming, would be point of disastrous, really bad for society. So around 3 to 7, degrees Fahrenheit of warming. So if humans prevent that, then we could continue on as a society, and the only way to do that is moving to clean energy.
Talk about what an average student, say at Iowa State here, can do to help this cause.
Well, I think first of all, the number one thing you could really do to help this cause is join organizations like Next Gen Climate and other environmental organizations on campus. We're really going to attack these issues head on, whether it's in the political sense to try to convince our politicians that this is something we really care about. Environmental activism, if there's a big environmental thing headed on campus or around, we're going to petition for it, and we're going to tell everybody that this is something we really care about. And I think joining an organization like ours is the number one thing average student could do to get involved.
Perfect. Well, Scott Feldman, once again, tand you for stepping into the hot seat. It was great to have you, and hope you have great success in all ventures with Next Gen
Thank you. I
Climate.
really appreciate it.
That's all we have time for here on this week's Hot Seat with Taylor Mankel.
And now we are joined at the desk by Ben Olson. Ben, what is happening in the world of Cyclone sports?
After the break, hear more about Cyclone football, volleyball, basketball, postseason baseball, and of course, George Niang. You're watching ISUtv. Welcome back from the break. I'm Ben Olson with your sports report. Iowa State volleyball dropped a tough match last night against number 6 Kansas by a score of 3-1. The Spikers started off fast at Hilton, winning the first game 25-23. However, similar to their game against Kansas State, the Cyclones were not able to maintain momentum against the Jayhawks. Jess Shaban was able to record 15 kills for Iowa State in the loss. The volleyball team's brutal Big 12 slate continues Saturday when they travel to Austin to face the number 4 Texas Longhorns. Iowa State football offensive lineman Patrick Scoggins is giving new meaning to the term Loyal Sons Forever True, as he is applying for a 6th year of eligibility. The former transfer has been plagued by medical hardships throughout his career, missing all of last season with a torn patellar tendon. Head coach Matt Campbell confirmed yesterday that they will apply for a waiver from the NCAA. However, as evident from past players, receiving another year of eligibility is far from guaranteed, so for now, Scoggins can only play football and the waiting game. Iowa State men's and women's basketball teams will be giving a little sneak peek of the magic to expect at Hilton Coliseum this year. On October 14th at 8 p.m. in Hilton Coliseum, the two teams will be hosting Hilton Madness. It's a chance for the students to put down the books and fans from all over to come and watch the men and women compete in a 3-point competition, dunk contest, and scrimmage. Former Iowa Stater Scott Siepker will do the announcing. The event is sure to be a good time and an even better look at what's to come this basketball season. Postseason baseball started this week with 2 MLB wildcard games. The Toronto Blue Jays defeated the Baltimore Orioles 5-2 in the American League wildcard game on Tuesday. The Blue Jays move on to play the Texas Rangers in the ALDS tonight. Last night, the San Francisco Giants defeated the New York Mets by a score of 3-0. Giants pitcher Madison Bumgarner had a complete game shutout to earn the win. The Giants will face off against the Chicago Cubs on Friday in what should be an epic NLDS series. George Niang continues to impress as he made his Pacers debut in their preseason win against the Pelicans on Tuesday. Niang managed to score 12 points with 8 rebounds and 1 assist in his 19 minutes of gameplay. The Pacers boasted a 17-point lead at the final buzzer. Coach Nate McMillan said that the 9-man starting rotation is already set, but if the rookie Niang continues to excel in preseason and practices, then opportunities could open up for the former Cyclone. That's all I have for your Cyclone sports. Zane, it was raining a little bit ago. Should we expect more rain tonight?
That's right, Ben. It was raining a little bit ago. There is going to be more rain throughout the night, and then coming up, we're going to talk about some drier weather and some cooler weather. Stay with us. Your full forecast is coming up next. Welcome back to Newswatch. Right now here in Ames, we're sitting at 67 degrees outside. If you look down here, you can see the dew point is 66 right now, so it's really moist out there. We've had a little bit of rain moving through, so we've got a lot of humidity out in the air at the moment. If you look at the map, you can see our current temps, there's quite a bit of spread across the state. 69 in Ottumwa, 67 here in Ames. Out in Sioux City, they're all the way down at 44 degrees right now. The reason for that, look at this wind map. Off to the eastern part of the state, you can see winds out of the south to southeast, nice strong breezes. And then in northwestern Iowa and areas to the west, strong northwest winds right now. That's due to a low pressure system that's off to our southwest, and then it's laying this stationary front across the state right now, causing that sharp wind shift at the moment. It's also bringing us all these showers and thunderstorms that are moving across the state this afternoon and still ongoing this evening, and those are going to continue to move across the state as we go into tonight. Also, we've still got a couple watches and warnings out there. This yellow area down in the south, just a few counties left over from a tornado watch we had earlier on in the afternoon. They've slowly been cutting off that area in southwest Iowa as we've gone through the day. And then off to our northwest, these are frost advisories. You know, it's been so warm lately that you forget it is October, so we are going to be starting to talk about that cold air starting to move in. As we head through Futurecast, you can see here's that rain that's tonight at 7 o'clock. We're already past that, but you can see it's painting in that rain pretty good. That scoots its way across the state this evening, and then drier air starts to work our way in tomorrow morning, and then we'll put this in motion all the way into Saturday, dry and clear as we go into the beginning of the weekend. So our weather is going to be pretty quiet as we headed through the next couple days. A really sharp contrast to what's going on down south. Here's Hurricane Matthew yet again. Category 4 storm right now, winds sustained at 130 miles per hour just off the Florida coast by the Bahamas. And as we go through the next couple days, this thing's going to lash the southeastern coast before it moves out east. And our models are really starting to suggest that it's going to loop around and potentially make a second landfall in Florida. Once again, that's too early now. This is earlier next week we're talking at this moment, but there's a big area of high pressure to the north, another hurricane, Hurricane Nicole to the east. They're both blocking Matthew, so it's really got nowhere to go right now. So we'll have to keep an eye on that through the next couple days. Back here in Iowa, though, the big story is going to be some a lot cooler temperatures. Lows tonight are going to sink down into the mid-40s in the central part of the state, only in the mid-30s off to the northwest. Areas in Nebraska and South Dakota are going to be looking at below freezing or around freezing at least, which is a real big change compared to where we've been at. Tonight here in Ames, low of 43. Those storms will move through, and then we'll change over to mostly cloudy skies as we move through the overnight hours. Tomorrow we're going to get up to mostly around 60 degrees or so, upper 50s to the north, low 60s to the south. It's actually going to be below normal for this time of year compared to where we've been at for the last few weeks or so. Here in Ames, high of 59, mostly sunny, cooler like I said, and then those northwest winds will switch around. Nice cool breeze from the northwest tomorrow at 10 to 15. Like I said though, we're going to get drier coming up though. You can see Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, into next Thursday, all through next week. It's going to be dry and mostly for the most part clear, and it's just going to be a much more typical cool fall forecast for the next several days. Stay with us. We've got more Newswatch coming up.
Last week, we reported on a pit bull ban in the Canadian city of Montreal that would prevent the adoption of pit bulls and would order all pit bulls in shelters to be exterminated. However, on Wednesday, a judge placed a temporary hold on the law. Judge Louis Guin of the Quebec Superior Court ordered the hold due to some issues he found with the bylaw, including that what consists a dog to be a pit bull breed and whether it was ethical to seize dogs classified as pit bulls that had no history of aggression or violence. The suspension of the law will continue until a hearing can be held on the merits of the bylaw. This could take up to several months, which will allow the shelters to find appropriate homes for the dogs.
Recently, the U.S. government and Samsung issued a warning that the new Galaxy Note 7 smartphone had a faulty battery and have been exploding. Samsung issued a recall statement, and Note 7 owners have been directed to exchange them, and most have. However, the replacements have been exploding as well. Most recently, a Southwest flight was evacuated in Kentucky due to an exploding Note 7 on the flight. The owner stated that the model was a recall replacement and he had powered off the device and it exploded in his backpack, charged to 80%. Now, mind you, this is the phone Samsung wanted us to strap to our faces with gear. I don't know about you, but I wouldn't want to strap an exploding-prone smartphone to my face. All of this exploding is due to the Samsung rushing to beat Apple's release of iPhone 7. So when you see someone with a Galaxy Note 7, that gigantic tablet with a stylus, be sure to take safety precautions by doing the owners a favor and smashing their exploding phones on the ground. But really, don't do that.
And that is all we have today here at ISUtv.
Tune in next Tuesday for more Cyclone news, weather, and sports.
Have a great night, Ames.